Channels of distribution is one of the most important aspects of marketing, and it's important that we spend some time talking about distribution channels. You're all familiar with some forms of distribution channels. You're familiar with some direct distribution channels like Amazon and eBay and perhaps Walmart.com. You're also familiar with retail outlets and shopping malls and those sorts of channel members who help bring products to you as an individual consumer. So let's talk a little bit about channels of distribution. It turns out that you can't, that you've heard this story, we eliminated the middleman and passed the savings on to you. Well, that's one of the great lies in marketing, because while you can eliminate the middlemen, you can't eliminate the functions they perform. And the reason that middlemen are in, their channel members are in a particular channel of distribution is because they're able to perform those functions more efficiently than anybody else that could perform that same work. Another term that you hear lots of time is location. And how important is location? Well, obviously location is very important. You can name certain corners and certain buildings in Las Vegas where every single company that moves in is not successful in that particular location. Well, location is all about distribution and getting the right product at the right place at the right time. So, so think about distribution as making sure that you have a product available when and where people want to purchase it and use it. Distribution problems are the single most vexing problem for small businesses trying to get their products to be successful. More companies fail because they can't get their products distributed to potential customers than any other reason for new product failure. There are a variety of terms used for marketing intermediaries, and you ought to be familiar with them. Middleman is any intermediary. Agent or broker is an intermediary with legal authority to act on behalf of a manufacturer. They don't own any product or anything. A wholesaler is an intermediary who sells to other intermediaries. And you need to go through those distributions in your book, those definitions in your book, and make sure that you understand them. So what do distributors do? Well, distribution activities range from handling the product to handling the product and do all the marketing for a particular product. The distribution activities are a crucial part of that notion of marketing as the science of exchange. A lot of distribution activities are absolutely necessary for the exchange to take place. Some of the distributor functions include negotiation, financing, risk-taking, matching, physical distribution of products, contacting, promotion, and research. These are all parts of distributor functions. Your book talks about those. You ought to be familiar with them. The marketing channel intermediaries perform three basic types of functions, each consisting of different activities. They perform a transactional function, that is, the buying and selling and risk-taking associated with inventory. And someone like Amazon never really owns any inventory, but they do assume some of the risk by making sure that they line up buyers and sellers and making sure that the transaction takes place. If you think about eBay takes the money from you and gives it to the seller and makes sure that all the other transactional aspects of the purchase take place. Someone like Amazon also is involved in the logistical functions. The logistical functions include assorting, storing, sorting, and transporting goods. And so, when you order something, or even think about something like a head of lettuce getting on the shelves of a grocery store. Those are all logistical functions to make that happen. That lettuce may be grown over someplace in the San Fernando Valley in California. It is grown, harvested there, packed in crates, taken to a distribution center, purchased by someone from the grocery store chain, then moves from that particular company to the grocery store chain's warehouses, and eventually from the grocery store warehouses to the actual grocery store. And think about all the people who have to be involved in making that head of lettuce get to your table. And then there's facilitating functions like financing. And making, and so financing, we think about finance, we think about, offering you credit and those sorts of things. But financing is also part of the notion of accepting credit cards as opposed to cash for products. Other factors include grading, inspecting, testing, and judging products, and then providing information and research. So these are all functions that are done by the channel intermediary. Some of the objectives when we're trying to make channel distribution decisions is the ease of purchase and use. That is, how easy is it for you to be able to purchase something and use it? Think about how easy it is for you to do one-click shopping on your mobile phone and have that product to you in 2 days or less, especially through Amazon, or 3 days or less through eBay. It's the idea of how fast can I get things to people, how much reach does the distribution system I have in place have, that is, how many customers is the product available to, the costs associated with that, the accessibility to the product or service, and our ability to provide timely information, market coverage, and of course, control.